Flosstube, how is everybody doing? This is Flosstube number 45, and today is July the 26th, 2022. Happy birthday to my grandfather who has passed away. He passed away several years ago, but I always remember his birthday because he always wanted something. He would always pitch a fit like a little kid wanting to know where his presents were. So anyway, I'm so glad that you're here. If you're a returning friend, thank you for coming back and sticking with me around my sporadical videos. And if you're new here, thank you for dropping in. I hope that you like what you see and that you'll subscribe, comment, ask questions, all that good stuff. I love to interact with everybody, and I really try to answer every single comment. If I don't answer, it's because for some reason I didn't get a notification from YouTube that there's one out there. So anyway, today is going to be a special episode since this is the middle of the year. I thought that it would be a good time to do a WIP parade. I do have some finishes since my last video, and yeah, and a little bit of haul. So we're going to kind of do today a little bit backwards. So just bear with me if you're used to how I normally do things. Alright, so let's start first of all with finishes since my last video. This one I was so happy to have done. This is, let me shake it out. Sorry, I didn't iron it. This is Summertime by Primrose Cottage Stitches. This was a stitch along. It was so much fun to do. I, of course, was behind because I always am, but there it is. It is complete, and it was a lot of fun to do. The lighting in here does not do that yellow justice, but it really pops. So I've got to get that one framed now. That one took a while to do, but I'm super happy that it is finished. I finished up a small one. This one is Do Small Things with Great Love. It is a Lizzie Kate pattern. I pretty much had it finished. There was just some little things that I needed to take care of on it. But I got it finished up. And then I finished up Summertime, or Bumblebee Kisses. That's what this one is. This one is by Primrose Cottage Stitches too. So I'm seeing this backwards. I'm hoping it's right for you guys. I think if I'm seeing it backwards, then it's right on camera. I don't know. Anyway. So that is the ones that I completed. And then I've got a couple of little minis that I'll show you in a minute when we look at my Halloween calendar. So I have gotten really organized. I went and spent the weekend down at my aunt's house and that I cross-stitch with. I haven't been down to her house in forever, and she's super organized, and she always gets a lot of stuff cross-stitched, and I got to really thinking about it, and I think that's why I've not been getting a lot of cross-stitch done, because it's such a mess, and it's overwhelming, and I didn't have a way to track. So I'm just the type of person that if I track things and keep like a schedule or a book or something, it motivates me, because I want to beat myself from the last week, or, you know, whatever. I want to see what I did. So I come back home. Well, I started actually while I was down at her house, writing things in a book, seeing what I had completed, what I had left to finish, and it's amazing to me, all these pieces that I have got almost done that I haven't finished yet. So, and doing this also makes it to where I can try to touch each of these pieces, you know, even just for a little bit in a month. So I'm really wanting to do better about working through my WIP list. If you're new here, I started stitching in April of 2021, and I doodled with it a little bit through the years, but it never really stuck. But I got really serious with it in April 2021, and I'm wanting to stitch everything. Like, I'm always seeing new patterns that I want, even though I've got so much already started and so much bought to stitch. That's why floss tubes are kind of they're kind of motivating, but they kind of enable you too. Does that make sense? So anyway, I'm going to go through here and just show the ones that I have got left. I did do some stats. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I did 9. I got 9 finished in 2021, and they were some pretty big pieces, like flea market flowers. I'm sure you've seen that one out there. There was a good bit that I got done in 2021 as a new stitcher, so I was proud of that. But I'm going to kind of go through and show you what I've got. Some of these I started and I haven't touched them since I started them on that day. Some of them are almost finished. Yeah, but we'll just wing it and we'll go. Now this one is the only embroidery piece that I have got. This is how I got back into cross stitch, is I was doing some stuff with embroidery. And this is one that I have started and I haven't finished. I do want to finish it though because it's a super cute pattern. This is Spring Birds by Jessica Long Embroidery. And I haven't touched it since I started cross stitching, but there's what it'll look like when it's finished. So it's a super cute pattern. So I've got that on the list because technically it is a stitchy project. Another thing that my aunt did that I really liked, I'll show you. I'm sorry for the zipping, but I have to keep this stuff organized or it's going to drive me nuts. But she puts a tag on her stuff, and I know that it's not unique to her. I've seen other people do it. But I put the year that I started it and the number in my book, so it matches. And so it's really easy for me to come in and do time tracking and stuff and mark the day that I finished it. So that's something else that I did. All right, this second one is Patchwork Dogs. It is by Design Works. This was one of my very first ones that I cross-stitched, and I haven't got very far with it. I need to sit down and do it because it's not a difficult pattern like that. That's all I got done. I need to sit down and put some time on that one, but you know how it is. Okay, this third one is Homely Houseplants Sal. This was my very first stitch along that I participated in, and I really enjoyed stitching on it. I don't have a lot left to do on it either, so I need to finish it up. But this was, I had marked my fabric because I wasn't used to skipping spaces and stuff, and I hope all of that comes out, but that's where it is. I really do love it. I need to get it finished up. Some of these, now that I wrote them down and I've seen, I really want to devote more time to get them finished. Okay, this one is my biggest piece. I haven't worked on it as much either. This is The Last Supper. And I've got that far. My original plans was to work on this one some every Sunday, and with everything being so disorganized, I didn't know where everything was. Honestly, I had lost the threads, and I found them whenever I cleaned and organized everything. So, yeah. Alright, next is Floral Cross. And you'll see a lot of these were just what I could find at like Hobby Lobby and places. My other patterns are not all these kits, so just bear with me. But this is a super cute kit, Floral Cross. And I've got one whole flower done. Not much. I promise you my whips get better. Don't go nowhere. This is what I call trying to figure out what I liked as a cross stitcher. Because when I started and I started watching Flosstubes, everybody had all these whips they were doing. So I went out and bought like every kind of kit that I could find, and I just started stitching on a bunch of them. And I didn't realize that there was a whole nother thing out there besides what you could buy at like Hobby Lobby and Michael's and stuff. So I've got all these kits bought that I have zero desire to stitch. So there's going to be some giveaways coming. I've got some that I'm going to give away at the end of this video, so make sure that you stay tuned. Alright, this next one, I do really love it. It is a kit, though, and I only worked on it one day, but I want to get this one finished up. This is a Dimension kit, and it's Merry and Bright. All of these kits are on Ada, you know that, either 14 or 18 at count Ada. I think all of them that I've showed you so far have been 14 count Ada. But that's an easy one. I want to get that one finished up on display this year. Alright, this one is about embarrassing. This was a freebie that came in a magazine. Again, I told y'all I was stitching everything I could get. Oh my gosh. And I'm probably just going to get rid of this because these colors look nothing like the pictures. Nothing like it. but I told y'all it's pitiful. Alright, then up on the housetop. Okay, here's one. Where's it at? Where's it at? Okay, here it is. This one I started as a new stitcher. And let me see, when did I start this one? How new was I? See, that's the benefit of being organized, y'all. I know. Okay, so I started this one July 1st of last year. So I started stitching at the end of April, May, June, July. So I was a 3-month-old stitcher. And I started stitching this one by Stitching with the Housewives. It's up on the housetop. Here it is. I bought the PDF of it. Can you see it? And it used specialty floss. And I had never done that. All I had used is what came in these kits. And so it was very confusing for me. Extremely. And I don't know about y'all, but specialty floss for me does not stitch like DMC and kit floss. So I started on it and I miscounted and I didn't know how to fix it. And I was just really frustrated with it. So when I was down at my aunt's 2 weekends ago now, weekend before last, something like that. Anyway, I thought, I want to pull this one back out and see. Do I really want to just get rid of it, or was it that I was a new stitcher and didn't know what I was doing? And it was I was a new stitcher and I didn't know what I was doing. And I'm sorry, they're not ironed. That's just not how I roll. But I had gotten, before I put it away, I had got these chickens, all this done down here. I got the truck done. I had got the white, not the trees, all this white right here. And then I had got these trees over here done. And I had put it away. And so since I pulled it back out, I've got this done, all of the house that I've got done here, all of these trees. So I've made pretty good progress on it since I pulled it back out. And I've got to be in my bonnet to get this one finished. I've got a bunch of the Stitching with the Housewives tidbit pieces that I'm wanting to get that are super, super, super cute. And anyway, I prefer stitching in hand now, but I don't know why this Black Ada is so much easier to see if it's on a Q-snap. So, yeah. Okay, so we're getting into the real cross stitch now. Told you. Bear with me. Let me put all these parts back. Okay. So that one, okay, Take Me to the Sea is the next one. I'm wanting to put some time in this one. This one was in the Just Cross Stitch magazine for August 2021, and it looks like this. And I stitched on this one day and haven't stitched anymore, but it's a smaller piece. Like, this is all of the top. That's it. That's the whole entire top. So it's not going to be very big, and I need to pull it out and work on it because I really do like this piece. Okay, Bats and Boos. This is another one that I will be finishing up soon. Okay, let go tag. Let go, let go, let go. Alright. This was a stitch along, mystery stitch along from Fat Quarter Shop. And it was a freebie. And I've got that far on this one. It actually has a border over here. I think it's Ghost or something like that. And I didn't know that when I started it, so I don't even know if I'm going to have room to finish that part up. We're going to see. I told y'all I was a new stitcher. And this is some fabric that I dyed myself. It's a 14 count Ada. Okay, then I went through some periods where I was actually doing stuff and finishing it. And then we come to this one. This is All the Trimming Style by Fat Quarter Shop. And I've got that far on this one. This one's not a hard pattern. I just need to pull it out and do it. I have not done as well about getting my stitching time in, but now I am actually planning my time in like it's an appointment, because if I don't, I'm not ever going to get to stitch. Okay, next is Autumn by the Cricut collection. And here's what it will look like. It's on an Ada as well. Got one. Having a hot flash up in here. So I got that far with that one. This one, these are ones that I stitch on only in the season, and then I put them away. So I've not done as good with the spring, and I haven't even started the summer one yet. Summer is my least favorite season. So, okay, Royal Holiday is next. Let me grab her right here. Tell you a funny story about this one. You can hear me with my head turned. This one has got whisper thread that is supposed to be used in here, and I didn't have it, and I started stitching it in white, and then I went and bought the whisper thread, and I was going to tear all this out, this white right here, and my dog got a hold of the thread and shredded it to pieces. So it ain't meant to have whisper thread in it. It's just going to have white. But this is Royal Holiday by Mirabilia. I guess I can show you the picture, huh? If I can find it. Okay, never mind. I'm not showing it to you. You'll just have to look up Royal Holiday. This was my very first piece that I started trying linen. So, and it was going well. I haven't worked on her as much since it not being the Christmas season, but I really hope to get a lot of her done this year. She's been calling to me. I'm on a stitch, what do they call it, a Zoom stitch along once a month, and it started March, I think, the first of the year or something like that, but I haven't got to do but one of them, so I'm going to do this month's if she still has it. I know she had COVID, so I hope she's doing better. Okay, next one is This is Halloween by Primrose Cottage Stitches. This one is done on Ada. That's what it'll look like. It is done on a 18 count vintage Ada. I've got that far on it. I love the colors in that. Okay. Next is Have a Cup of Cheer. This is one that Java Girl Stitches did as a stitch along with some other gals. And I started it with them as a stitch along, and like I do in true fashion, I never finish them with everybody else. So it's coming. It doesn't have much left to finish up. So gotta get that one finished. I'm pleased with a lot of these and how far I've come. Some of them are fairly new, but you know. This is an Advent Wait. This is a free pattern that I have developed. I have changed my website around, and I've still not got it loaded on there. But it will be back up there if you're interested in it. You can go over to my website, So What Stitcher, and on the right there's a Happy Mail form, and you can just put some kind of note in there about you're wanting to get the Advent pattern, and I can email it to you in the meantime. But here's what it will look like. And I'm doing this one on linen, or an even weave one. So, got that far with it. This will be another one that I pick up this Advent season. And next one, can you see I have a thing for Christmas? Next one is Winter by the Cricut collection. Trying to remember the dye of this fabric. Let's see the thing in here. Got a pretty good ways on this one. So this is an Ada, but I don't remember the dier of this. See, I told you I got to do better about keeping my facts together. And then this one was just a tiny little start. This is a PDF pattern, Christmas Rules by Primrose Cottage Stitches. And I'm doing it on 18 count natural, or 18 count linen natural star. The name of it. And it's got some shimmer to it. I don't know if you can tell on the camera. Yeah, there you go. But that's literally all I've got done is the word Christmas. So, some of these I started, I think, technically after Christmas, but that's why they didn't get no more than what they did. So that is all of my 2021 projects that were started and not finished. So, yeah. Alright, now we're going to jump into the 2022 list. These top 12 that I'm showing you were technically started on December the 31st of last year, but they were started at noon. It was a 12-hour stitch challenge, and you picked a new project every hour from 12 o'clock noon on the 31st to midnight on the 1st. So you were doing a lot of cross stitching as you brought in the new year. So these first 12 were started then, and some of them I haven't even worked on except for that hour. Some of them I've worked on more, but anyway. Okay, this first one is called Temperature Tree. Where is it at? Where are you, Temperature Tree? Oh, here it is. See, if it had been a snake, it would bit me. This one has been, it's fun, but I have not done very well at keeping up with it, and I keep playing catch up. When I first started it during the month of January and February, I would stitch each afternoon the day before's leaf because your temperature is not available until after midnight for the day before. And I was doing really good with it in January and February. And then I kind of went to, instead of doing it every day, I was doing it every 5 or 6 days. And as you can see, I've not stitched any on it since, not stitched any on it. It's not consistently. So like in the last week, I've stitched these 4 branches for April, May, June. I'm still working on June's and July. And I'm wanting to get June's branch finished today. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start today putting the leaf in there the right color. And if there's any other back through these months that use that same color thread, I'm going to go back in and fill in those leaves. So I will get all this filled up. I'm also wanting to put this on like on my daily 30 list until all these leaves are caught up. And if you're wondering about the temperatures, since I haven't kept up with it, you can go to AccuWeather.com, and up at the top, I think it's monthly you click, and you can change the month, and it will give you all your highs and low temperatures, your past weather patterns for, I think, last year and this year. So what I do is I keep a book that I write the temperatures down in. And like I said, I had not done any of the leaves except for March, so I went in and got April, May, June, and July's the other day. So they were all in there available. But this is, I'm going back to putting in the leaf a day because that's how I was able to stay up with it. But I love the colors of it. It's so pretty. This one is by Stitchin' Mommy, if you're interested in it. And I know there are some folks that are doing like a bookcase this year instead of the tree. I seen this pattern, I think it was August last year, but obviously I didn't want to go back in and fill in all those leaves. So I just started it technically last year, but you know, I put it down as this year. So, because I started it at noon on the 31st, 12/31/2021, and got the first limb the trunk and the limb stitch so that I could start it on January the 1st. So I have enjoyed this one. I just wish I would have done better about keeping up with it. But, so this is a piece that I'm working to catch up on. Alright, I've got to move my 22 bucket over here. Hang on. So y'all don't keep seeing the back of my head. Okay. Make sure I don't miss any. Alright, the next one is, it's the only thing about these tags, man. They get tangled up. Okay. God Bless America is the next one. And I have worked on this one more than just the day that I started it. It's a kit that I got at Walmart. It's a Janlin kit. It's super cute. I had bought this back when I first started in April of 2021, and I'd never started it. So this was a start on that 1231 challenge. And let's see, it goes this way. This is the grass, and this starts the mountains. So I got that far, and that star is done too. Now make sure you give me credit for that star. I am very much a seasonal stitcher. I get in the mood to do certain holidays, and I don't do as good in summer because it's so hot. And that's the reason a lot of these summer ones don't go touched. But what I need to do is during the winter, whenever I'm fed up with cold weather, that's when I need to work on these summer pieces. Okay, this next one is Patchwork de la Page by Jardin Previer, however you say your name. Super cute. This one is being done. I'm looking. On a 28 count raw casual linen. And got some of the border and then this outlining box up there done. This one is a fun stitch. That little border, it really went when you started working on it. Next is Valentine Village. I have worked on this one a good bit. This was in, it hung on everything. Just Cross Stitch magazine, February 2022, and I made myself a working copy. So there's what it looks like. It is stitched on 18 count Ada Mystic Gray by Swigard. And here's what I've got done on it. So, like I say, I work on these during the holiday season and then I put them away. That's just how I roll. The next one is The Heart is Like a Garden. This is another one that was in a Just Cross Stitch magazine. I'm looking at what year, what edition. February 2022. And I don't know why I haven't worked on some of these anymore. Like I said, I guess it's just because I was unorganized. But now my goal is to touch every single one of my WIPs through the month. So, got that far. I mean, it was hard to get some stuff done in an hour. Because that one there, I only worked on it in an hour. Haven't worked on it since. Next one is Home Sweet Home Sampler. This is another magazine piece from February 2022. And it is a series of houses. I don't think let me see. That you get some of the pattern each month. And since I've got a subscription to the magazine, I thought this is one that I could do. This one has got specialty stitches in it, and that's why I've not really worked on it as much as I thought that I would. You can see, that's all I got. And there's white in there. But, I don't know. I need to. I didn't realize when I started this one there were so many specialty stitches in it. I may finish it. I may just knock this one off the list. Right now I'm undecided though, so. Next one is Let Them Be Small by Lizzie Kate. And it's got a cute little saying. I love the saying. I only worked on this one during the hour, so not worked on it since. That's what I've got done. Fixing to do better though, I promise you guys. Alright, the next one is Happy Camper. Oh my gosh, I have had this one forever. This was back whenever I was cross-stitching. Well, I do know it was before I had my first baby because, and Justin is 15, almost 16, because I was cross-stitching him baby bibs. That's what it was. Baby bibs. And this is all I have done. I know y'all are impressed. That's it. That's it. I haven't stitched it in almost 16 years. Sometimes I just get mad at myself. Do y'all do that? Alright, this next one is Summer Sampler. This is another magazine piece. These magazine pieces are so cute. This is in the World of Cross Stitch magazine from July 2021. And there's what it looks like. Super cute. I have worked on this one more than just the hour. I think I picked it up one other time. But that's what I got done. These, I'm just ashamed of myself. I hadn't worked on some of these any more than I have. Alright, Autumn Rules by Primrose Cottage Stitches. This one's pathetic too. Not the pattern pathetic. What I've done on it's pathetic. This one is fixing to be pulled out and worked on a good bit because we're coming into autumn. It is on natural 18 count rustic Ada. Are y'all ready to laugh? This is just about as bad as the Happy Camper one. That's what I got done. I think this was like this was at 10 o'clock at night after I'd done all these other projects I've showed you so far. So I was running out of stitching juice. Yeah. Next one is the Jaylyn kit, Virtuous Woman. And I love all of these, except like some of those that I started in early 2021. Like that moth thing, really. Are y'all ready? This was at 11 o'clock at night on New Year's Eve. So give me some break, okay? That's what I got done. I need some prayers sent my way, y'all. Okay. Last one. This was the, no, that was the 10 o'clock hour. This was the 11 o'clock hour. My summary for 2021 was Be Ye Thankful. 2021 was a crazy year for us. My daddy had an ATV accident and was out of work like 8 weeks. And we basically moved over there and took care of him for like a month and a half. Him and my mom. And he's good now. And then at the same time that was going on, my husband had a heart attack and he was 47. So my dad was in the hospital for the second time, and my husband was in the hospital for his heart attack at the same exact time, and I got to come home on the same exact day. So we all stayed at my mom and daddy's house for more weeks because my mama needed help with my daddy, and I needed help with my husband. So 14 count Yorkshire Gray is what this one is stitched on. This is it. What I got. But this one is pretty much, it's a very simplistic Well, other than the majority of it is like one color. It's got a cute little freebie too in one stitch. But I'm over summer. I might do 2 weeks of summer stitching in August, and then I'm over it. Okay. And then now we're moving into Easter, because I did not do much stitching the first of this year. So this is Happy Easter by Cherry Hill Stitchery. This is a freebie. And this one is stitched on a 20 count black Aida. This one is very hard to stitch on. That's why I've not got any more done than I did. I had a really hard time seeing the holes on this one. Okay, now we're getting into some fun ones. I did March/May Mania. And what happened is I was graduating in May and I was in my final semester. So Brenda of the Handwork Maniac said that her May was going to be crazy. So she did stuff in March and May for Mania. And so I thought that was a good idea because I knew the first entire week of May I wasn't going to get to stitch anything. So I did really good in March. And this was one that I started in that time period. The bee comes. It's super cute. I'm sorry for the lighting. But I worked on this one a good bit. This one is on linen. I think this is a picture of this plus linen, but I'm not 100% sure. No, it is not. It's a, yeah, picture this plus 32 count Dublin. Can you see it? This is a fun one to stitch. Super cute. But I love it. I really do. I gotta get this one transferred to another bag because this one's in a Ziploc bag. I've enjoyed that one. And then I started this one. And I can't believe I haven't got any further on this one. This is a free sampler by, it's in another language here. Let me see. What is the name of this one? Positive Thinking Sal. And it's from, I don't know, I can't tell. But it says, the way to happiness, keep your heart free from hate, your mind from worry, live simply, expect little, give much, scatter sunshine, forget self, think of others. And there's what it looks like. Sorry, the lighting is horrible. And it's a blurry picture. This one I was so excited to start. And I mean, I still am. But there is a lot to this one. And that's what I've got done on it. This is on 32 count Weeks Dye Works Baby Breath fabric. And like I said, a lot of these I haven't stitched on again because I forgot that I had them because everything was such a mess. So the goal now is to touch everything that I have got one time a month until it's finished. Alright, the next one is Spring by the Cricut collection. This one. And I don't know what I'm going to do with this one. I'm not stitched on it anymore. You see how close the color is to the fabric? I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I want to keep stitching it and then back stitch around it. I don't know what to do with this one. Because the fabric that it calls for was a yellow color, and I thought the yellow blended in too much. See the P? Can you see it? And then I got the pink, thinking it would be better, but the S blends in too much. So, I really do think I'm going to be ripping that one out and getting another fabric. So, and then I went through and finished a bunch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I finished 14. And then we are on to this one. This one I started last year. This is Halloween calendar. I started it on one big piece, and I wasn't in it. I wasn't feeling it. And Stitching by the Shore is doing these individually as minis, and she don't know if she's going to do a banner or ornaments or what. I'm going to put mine into ornaments. But Janet Jabber jumped on, and she's also doing them. And so, where's my third one at? I'm doing them as minis as well. There it is. So I've got block number 1 finished. I've got block number 2 finished. And I am alternating fabrics intentionally. And then I skipped and did block 25. I promise he shows up better. I don't know what the deal is with the light today. So I'm trying to get all these done by October 1st. I am behind in stitching these like I always am. So I've got a week vacation coming up, and I'm going to be working really hard to get those stitched up. I have got some that I said I was going to start, but I haven't yet. The Ecclesiastes 3 mini series and the Summer by the Cricut collection that I haven't started. And then I have got my children's 3 stockings, and I literally just started them. I pulled them out the other day. Let me show you why I haven't done too much on them. I didn't bring them out here, did I? Yes, I did. Okay. So here is why. These are dimension kits, and they come with the floss. And bless their hearts, I don't know what they're thinking. I do know what they're thinking. They're thinking they want to hurry up and get it out. But do you see this mess? This is why I haven't stitched on them. So, I took time the other day and I sorted one of the kits. And I've got them. Okay, look at all these colors. I think there's like 40 something different colors. So I put all the reds together, all the oranges. I mean, they're in individual bags, but that way they're not, this is not DMC colors. So whenever I need a color, I can go to the color that is close to what I need, and then I can just look at the numbers. So now that all this stuff is getting organized, I've still got to do the other 2 stockings, getting them cleaned up, and put in time on them. Then I also started, these are the Barnyard, that's all I got done. These are free ornaments. They're called Barnyard ornaments, and they're free patterns by Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting. And there's 20 something of them. So I have got all of those on here. I went and bought all the flosses for those, but I thought I'm getting ahead of myself by going ahead and doing Christmas. So as much as I'm wanting to stitch Christmas, and I have technically already been stitching Christmas, I'm trying to refrain because I've got this other stuff that I need to do too. Like I've got Halloween pieces I need to finish. I've got the fall pieces I need to finish before Christmas. So that is my WIPs. That's all of my WIPs that I have got started. So there's a total of, hold on, bear with me, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Hang on. There's 40, I have 41 WIPs, and that's including the stockings and 2 of them that I haven't technically started. So I've got 39 actually. 39 WIPs. And that I'm considering like that Halloween one that's got all those minis as one. And then that the Barnyard Ornament series that has 20-something of them as one. So that's my WIPs. Alright, now I'm going to show you my haul that I have got lately. I went and bought, I needed a bunch of flosses for those Barnyard ornaments, and I keep an entire set of DMC on hand. And if I take one out to kit it up or to bobbinate it, then I buy another one to put in its place, so that I always shop with myself. I try to buy these only when they're on sale, but I needed a bunch so to fill my stash back up, so I went and bought floss. And then here is my massive find. I'm so happy. So I have been torn for years over keeping years. I ain't been stitching but a year and a half. For a year and a half, I have been torn about how to keep my DMC. So my DMC is on hanging file folders if it hasn't been touched. When it's been touched, I was putting it on floss drops. But I didn't like how I was having to store them that way. So whenever I take out a DMC to actually use it, I'm bobbinating it because it takes up less space. I do not like the crinkles that it leaves in the floss, but I have found if you use the thread conditioner or you wet a sponge and you just, like, okay, say this is the sponge. I just hold my finger down over top of the thread, pull the thread through, just barely dampen it, and it straightens it out, and it don't kink. That being said, I did not want to bobbinate all of that floss. So, I have been watching online for, like, Facebook Marketplace, eBay, Mercari, for somebody getting rid of their stash of floss. Now, all of my patterns call for, specialty flosses or DMC, so I didn't want to get Anchor or JP Coats, or not that I don't think that they're equivalent, it's just that the patterns call for DMC. So I have been looking, and people would say it was DMC, and then I'd zoom in on the picture, and you could tell it wasn't DMC, blah, 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 blah. So I got on the other day, and I found these. There is over 500 skeins in here of floss, and they're all in numerical order. They are actually DMC. I have got a DMC card and went through them, and how I determined before I bought them that it was going to be worth it was I pulled out my card and looked where some of these I could see the number, and for what I could see, it was all true. So I bought all of these things, and it has been so nice because I've got all of that bobbinated now, so I'm going to that if I need to kit up something. I know a lot of people are worried about the color change. I don't care if it's got a little bit of a different color. If I run out of something that's on those bobbins and get a new skein, I know some people that may drive them nuts. I don't care. To me, that just adds character to the piece. But I got all of that for 50 bucks. I was so excited. I was jumping up and down, and my husband's like, "What is wrong with you?" And I was like, "I got all this floss," and he didn't understand. But the majority of these are brand new. Like, you can tell that there's hardly any of it gone. And then it did come with a Ziploc baggie, a gallon Ziploc baggie, 3/4 of the way full with more skeins. Some of them are DMC that have not been put in here, and then some of them are numbered funny, so I don't think they're DMC. Then there is some loose skeins of DMC that's not been wound yet. So I feel like I scored big time with those. So super excited about that. And then my aunt and I went to a cross-stitch shop. It's not a cross-stitch shop. It is a needlepoint shop, and they carry a very little bit of cross-stitch. It is Stitch Point on Friendly in Greensboro, North Carolina. And I bought a few things. I bought, what did I buy? I bought Christmas Barn by Primrose Cottage Stitches. I bought my first sampler piece, Autumn Names the Animals by Plum Street Samplers. I'm super excited about that one. I bought a hands-on design, Let's Talk Summer. I bought the cross-stitched Halloween episode or whatever edition. And then I bought out the store of Weeks Dye Works Icicle, because I thought that it would look great in place of the white on that. It's got some tints of, blue in it. Looks like a little bit of blue and a little bit of gray on that chart right there. So that is it. That's what I got to show you. Yeah, I don't have nothing else. I will show you, I have got a cross-stitch planner now. I am so proud of myself. The Hobby Lobby had their Happy Planners on sale for 40% off, and I thought, I gotta get organized. So I went to looking online, and there's other people who have made cross-stitch journals with a Happy Planner. So I went and got me one. And the reason being is that each day of the month, I can, like, I'm doing some, this is just where I keep track of, like, what I've stitched on for the day. I keep track of, like, if I bought something I need to show. I'm keeping track of my floss tubes now. Like, my stitches for the month are all in here. And that way I can look, you know, at a glance and see how am I doing stitching. So, see, like, this last week, I did pretty good on my stitching. I even finished, if it's highlighted, I finished a piece. I know how long I spent time-wise stitching. Yeah, all that good stuff. And then, did you guys know, I was looking at, because I wrote it down in my book, I can tell you, the live cross-stitch trunk show with Heart and Hand. It's Flosstube episode number 167, and they recorded it on July the 20th. A Halloween Tiny Town is coming out, so I'm excited. I was only going to stitch Patriotic Tiny Town, and my aunt has been stitching the whole series, and I love them, so I think I'm going to have to stitch them too. So, anyway, this is, I think, my longest floss tube ever. Plans till next week. I'm doing better about recording. I promise I am. I know I've said it before, but I have a book where I schedule this now, so I'm doing better. Plans. I am catching up on the temperature tree. I'm going to make it I'm going to stitch from here on out. This is the 26th of July. I'm going to stitch the leaf every day, and I'm going to use one strand of thread to go back and do every color leaf to March that uses that same temperature color, so that I get caught up. So you should see good progress on it. I'm going to be putting a lot of time into the Halloween calendar minis this next week. And then I may pick up a couple and just put some time on some of them. It may not be but 30 minutes or an hour, but with me having my goal to stitch on every single one of my WIPs in a month now, I need to work on a couple of weeks. So there you go. There you have it. So I think that's all I got to share with you guys in the way of personal things. The boys are starting school next week. I homeschool them if you're new here. So I will have a 10th grader, a 6th grader, and a 4th grader. We got their end-of-grade testing back, and they did really good. And, of course, there's areas that we need to improve on, just like there is with every kid. And there's areas that they excelled at. So we're going to spend probably the first month just really touching base on those areas where they needed some improvement and get their brains started up good. And then we'll start full-fledged with their 5 subjects in September. So that's the goal. Really, if you remember in my last video, I had showed you I had a biopsy place on my arm, and there's mild, moderate, severe cancer. That's the different levels for things that's on your arm. So this was a moderate, and it was a very, very close to being on the severe level. So I had to go back and have it cut out, and there's a bunch of stitches in it. Like, he put multiple layers of stitches. And I have a hard time. I used to not have a hard time, but I've had 13 operations. And every time an operation has been added, I get more and more anxious about having stuff done. So I was shaking in there. I had a really hard time when they took off the little piece to biopsy it about it healing, and it hurt really bad. That location, you bend it all the time. It rubs against your clothes. You just don't realize how much you use that area. But I had a hard time getting it to heal, and I was really nervous about this. But I have discovered that this area swells a good bit, and so I've been keeping it wrapped. I just took it off to let it air out a little bit now, but I was super nervous, shaking, nervous. So I took cross stitch in and cross stitched a little bit to try and, help with it. So it did pretty good. But other than that, that's about it. We're trying to stay cool. It's been very hot here, 94. And I know that's not high temperature-wise, but with humidity around here, it is unbearable during the day. Any kind of yard work is either early in the morning or late in the evening. So my son was out cutting grass last night, in the dark, with a headlamp on the lawnmower. It's unbearable. Hubby has been putting mulch around the pool and some stuff like that. But other than that, nothing much going on. Been doing a good bit of art. If you're on this channel for cross stitch, then you realize that I uploaded the video of me drawing the baby in colored pencil to the wrong YouTube channel, and I was like, I'm not moving it. So that's why you had a random drawing video in amongst on my channel, because it was supposed to go on my other YouTube channel. But I do have some colored pencil drawings going on. So, but that's about it. That's about it. And I'm ready for fall. I am so over the summer hot weather. I'm ready for the food of fall. I'm ready for the days to start winding down. I'm ready for the cooler weather. I'm ready for the color changes. I'm ready for the smells. I'm ready for the food. I'm ready for everything fall, y'all. But I hope everybody is doing good. Giveaway. I've got a giveaway. Let me grab it. Let me grab it. Oh! This is a duplicate magazine. I actually bought one of these magazines last year, and I didn't realize that I got it in my subscription last year. So I've got 2 of these magazines. This is Halloween last year. This is not this year's. So it is Halloween magazine from last year. There's some super cute projects on there, and enough time that you could get some of these done for this year. So this is going to be my giveaway for this week. If you want to be entered in the drawing, just say the word Halloween. Do not say giveaway, anything like that. You must be 18 years or older. You must be in the U.S. You must be a subscriber to the channel. I'm so close to being over 1,000 subscribers, and I'm trying to get there. So if you guys would give me a shout out or send some friends over, I would really, really appreciate it. I'm also over on Instagram. I post there pretty frequently. So what Stitcher. But anyway, I will pick the winner for this next week on Tuesday. So just use the word Halloween. Tell me, do you do Halloween stitching? Have you started Halloween stitching? What have you been working on? And you will be entered in for the drawing, and I will get this out to you. I will also say you will have 1 week to get back. Okay, let me back up. I do the drawing next week. If I haven't heard from you by the next video, I will remind you in that video. And then if you haven't responded to me by the next video, then I will redraw. So you have 2 weeks from the date that I draw for you to contact me, or I will do another drawing. So there you go. All right, so use the word Halloween. All right, I will see you guys later. We will be doing a bunch of giveaways. My aunt gave me a bunch of her patterns that she didn't want to do over the years, so I've got so much to give away, so make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and share the channel. I would very much appreciate it. Thank you for stopping in with my mid-year WIP parade, and I will see you guys next week.